All right, this is the first ever noise complaint, and the cops aren't here yet, so that's great. I'm Lou. This is Ben. This is Ben's basement, and we have East Moon down here. How you guys doing?
Good. Hello,
we have Jacob,
hello.
Tara, Tony, DJ, and Santi.
Yo.
And listen, we're not going to do the lotion on your skin thing down here. We're not going to get weird. I promise you we're in some weirdo basement. But you guys, thank you for showing up and being a part of
You made promises. I'm just
Yeah, I honestly thought that's why we were here.
It's kind of how he enticed you with the weirdness of this whole thing.
Yeah,
right.
I was under the impression. I mean, that's what I thought was happening.
I mean, strangest place you guys have played? A suburban basement? With no crowd? It's not like you're at like a party. It's us.
Everyone started in the basement shows. So you guys
in
know
one
how
way,
that
right?
goes, yeah.
Well, everywhere is a party. Wherever we go, it's a party. So
fair enough. I mean, down here we're having a hell of a time, and it's just us. So I mean, that definitely tracks. But so you guys got started in 2020, which that's a great time to get a band going. That just seems like what could go wrong there. How the hell did you guys make it through all that and still be doing what you're doing as East Moon?
I guess I'll start because I started talking. Everybody else quiet. No. Technically, we started 2019. December 2019, we were in another band. Tony hit us up, said, I got some songs to show you. Maybe you guys want to do some shit on it. Talking about myself and Tara. We were like, hey, let's keep going with this. So we found DJ. We were friends with him. We had mutual friends, but eventually things just worked out. Let's just say. But we jammed one time, kicked it off right off the bat. It felt great. And then really didn't start doing anything till I want to say January. And then also we know what happens in March of 2020.
Sure. Yeah. Screeching halt.
It was one of those things where I've been in tons of bands. And I was just like, well, there goes that idea. I just kind of figured whatever. But we all kept talking. We all kept in touch. The second that, we felt comfortable, we started getting together again, and we just really, it almost rejuvenated us. In between that time too, personal life, I ended up getting another job. So it totally changed how I could operate in the band. And honestly, I feel like it was a little combination of the band starting, made me kind of just like, all right, I really want to do this again.
Powered through it.
Right, yes.
Yeah, right.
And everybody else was down. I mean, really, we had a great relationship right off the bat, so.
Yeah, I think, honestly, just because of COVID, we had all the time in the world to write music.
Sure.
Because there was no shows going on. Nobody was going to shows. We weren't booking anything. So every weekend, we were getting together, writing music. And that's hard to do when you're in your mid to upper 30s to get together with 5 other adults on a weekly basis. But COVID kind of gave that to us, and we just kept writing,
I've heard it go either way. It's gone people had all the time in the world and they created so much, or it kind of depressed them in a way that they weren't able to do any writing and kind of just paralyzed them at that time. But it's great.
Yeah, we were able to develop our style, develop our our vibe, and not just that, but develop our relationship as a band too. We were able to be real close. We didn't have any shows scheduled or anything like that, so we were able to develop and just try different things and just become who we want to be, so we had plenty of time. And I think that's probably unique about bands that started during COVID. They could probably say the same thing, that's how they got their vibe going,
That gets us to 2023 when you guys get End of Transmission out there, your first EP, and now we have Homage out in the beginning of this year. So between those two, how did the whole process change for you guys between doing the two different EPs? Did anything, just creatively, the whole style behind it, the way you guys put them together?
Well, I'm going to start this so I can segue and let Santi talk. Because when we did End Transmission from 2020 to 2023, we kind of had a little rotating door of bass players. And right when we booked the session for End Transmission, our bass player quit. And I recorded the bass parts, but I had been talking to Santi about potentially joining our band, and we were just talking about this. How did it happen?
Yeah, I was playing in the Burst and Bloom, and we all knew each other from way back in the day.
Yeah, Jacob was saying you guys have known each other since you were 8, right?
Well, I've known Tony since 8th grade.
That's what it was. Tony since 8th grade.
Myself and Tara, we've been you know,
Since I was 17.
yeah.
I think they're into each other. I don't know. Oh shit!
Don't start shit. We know damn well me and DJ are an item.
Neck tattoos, they stay together, guys.
But yeah, with East Moon, we talked, and I was like, "There's no way I can do 2 bands at once. I don't know how anybody does that."
I would imagine that's got to be insane.
It's always drummers, but whatever.
Somehow they have double the energy.
Seriously. And so, yeah, we talked, and then Burst split, and it was cool because it was the first time I had a band split on good terms. And I thought I was done. I was content with not playing music anymore and just like whatever. And we were talking. I was like, well, I'll fill in for you guys. We'll start that way and see how it goes. And then I said, send me some music. And they sent me 2 songs, and it was what was on Spotify. And I was like, okay, where's the rest? Because you got a show in like 2 weeks. And he's like, well, I can send you these demos we have. And I was like, all right. So they send them, and I was like, oh shit, I like this.
That was all end transmission too, like the pre-production, like the demos and stuff.
Yeah, and so everything it fell into place, and I really didn't have any desire to jump into another band because it's like you can't half-ass it. You either do it all the way in or not. And so especially when you have 4 other people that are like, yeah, we're doing this all the way in. So it became just like a really cool coincidence that just I'm so happy that I got to be a part of it so far. And
So far.
Yeah, so far.
No, he's really the missing puzzle piece that we needed to like complete everybody.
You were saying earlier that you actually had done the bass parts for In Transmission because dude split right before. You were like, we're still going to go ahead and do it.
Right. And we had all that 2020 time. This was the first time we said we were going to record a batch of songs. There's 5 songs on that EP. I recorded the bass, but Santi was like, I want to be in this. I want to record the bass parts. And sure enough, came back. He recorded everything. And then we went on, yeah. Exactly. And then after that, it was like all of a sudden we have shows. And then because of COVID, this at 2023, now it's easier for us to book shows. Now people are aware of who we are. We got to put some stuff out there.
For writing, like, how does the process work for you guys? Because I know everyone has a different, like, someone brings a whole song to the table or a riff, or like, how do you guys approach songwriting? Is it different every song, or do you guys have a kind of a formula that you kind of follow, or?
How many?
I didn't do it. I think when we wrote Homage, it was a little bit different, especially because we hadn't heard any of Jacob's vocals during writing all the songs. And I think that kind of changes what you're going to do as a drummer or a guitarist, because sometimes you could hear vocals or somebody trying to work something out, and you may think, well, okay, that's what he's going to do. I think I'm going to change what I'm doing to kind of cater to that. Like, I don't even remember hearing any of his vocals till we got to the studio. And when I heard it, I was like, wow, holy shit. Like, job, bud. Yeah. And
Look
it was
at
like,
you.
That's a gamble, man. Because
and then when I thought about it, it was like, man, it's almost as if I would have heard that during the whole writing process, I probably wouldn't have wrote my drum parts. Like, it's almost like he just needed it to be what it was.
Right.
So he could just put that on top of it. Because sometimes, like, when you're writing, like, you can just have so much energy, you're not really paying attention to what anyone else is doing. You're only paying attention to you. So you don't hear it all together till you get to the studio. And then you're like, oh, wow, like, that sounds different. I never noticed you did that, or I never noticed Tara did that, or something like that, So Homage, I think, was, like, really methodical for us. Like, when we wrote NMA, we were like, okay, we want to write a really fast, like, so, like, that's what we did. And it was really easy for us to kind of, pick that apart. And I mean, End Transmission has some of my favorite songs still, but I think the writing process for Homage was a lot slower, more methodical for us.
That's the thing about like our writing process is like no one really ever says no. Like no one really comes up with an idea and someone's like, nah, I don't like it, And I remember Jacob like playing the riff for Deaf Ears, and I'm like in my head, I'm like, man, this kind of sucks, And I'm like, all right, cool, but we all trust each other, so we go into the studio with it, and like DJ was saying, like, I had no idea like what he was trying to do with it. We're all pretty. We all come in with ideas and stuff, and we like to try different things, and we're all like very positive. We don't, we kind of let everyone have, their ideas.
Do like the vocals typically come after you build up with the band a little bit, or do you kind of come with like a concept initially?
Well, my goal is the music sounds good on its own. Like my
It's a good
lyrics,
goal. That's not going to hurt you.
my lyrics and my vocals will come later. They're secondary though. I really just want the music to be good, and like we're talking about Drown, I want it to have its own story. So like that's the thing too, is like Tony said, we'll come through and we'll play some stuff. And like even some of the songs we recorded, like once again on Transmission, we played that like twice live, and we were like, this song isn't that fun. Like it sounds good recorded,
Sure.
but we're like, it's not that fun to play.
Yeah, not everything translates
Right.
live. You gotta
So
check it
yeah,
out.
I mean that's where the vocals come in. Is like I really try to cater to what the song presents to me when it comes to the vocals and the lyrics and everything like that. I don't really have like a theme in mind or anything like that. I'll like maybe while we're playing, I'll like sing nonsense to try to get a melody
Just to
out
fill.
there.
Right.
And just try to like see where I can go with it, where it feels natural, but also it sounds good. And then maybe I'll hear a line and I'll keep hearing it in my head. But I tell them all the time, and they know this, I work at a print shop. So I'll just be printing shirts all day. And when we have demos, I'm listening to the demos over and 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 not even exaggerating. And like, I like really just try to like get lost in it and okay, what can I do that fits, that's not like forcing anything.
Right.
But that's the vocals. Everything else musically is actually really natural. Like he said, we have a riff, we expand on that riff, and everybody picks their spots.
And is it sometimes just spontaneous, like while you're jamming, or is it mostly like something that's kind of stuck?
Sometimes, usually somebody
Happy
has
accidents.
something. Somebody has a riff or
Starting point.
Because I can't play like guitar, I don't know chords, but if I had a noise in my head, I could just be like, hey, like I have this noise in my head.
And everyone just tells you to
we'll
shut
just
up, drummer.
They'll
Don't
just be
speak.
like, shut up, don't talk ever again. Just stay back.
No, actually, he's usually just by himself talking to himself. Do you guys hear that? He thinks we're there, but we're not.
Something, just a little riff.
Sure. I think this kind of comes across really clearly in Homage, where like you can go front to back on that EP, and each song is it stands out. It's got its individual personality to it, but you always know you're getting East Moon. It doesn't. You guys don't ever change it to the point where you're like, oh, this one missed the mark. You're getting what you're expecting out of each one, so you still get that different, but it's still East Moon.
Yeah. Well, what's funny about Homage is this wasn't on purpose. Just like the lyrics and everything comes later, Homage kind of came after the fact, because then we wrote the songs and I'm like, man, this kind of reminds me of like this style. This kind of reminds me of this band or this other song that we've had, or whatever. And then so there's bits and pieces where there's even like TikTok reels that I was trying to make just because that's the day and age we live in. But I was trying to like break it down a little bit of the, backstory for the songs or whatever. And that's why it ended up being called Homage, is because we inadvertently paid homage to a lot of different things that we like in each song. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it comes out of the gate. NMA is just like in your face. You're like, all right, but it progresses, and it just everyone's a little bit different, but in a great way, and it just gives you a great sample of the band, I think. Yeah. Did you guys lean into the EP thing too? I mean, I think it's smart that you did for both, and just that, like, look at the industry now, right? You can put 12 songs on an album, even if you go tour on it heavily. What are you playing 2 of them, right? So like, what you're gonna waste the rest of that album to a strong degree. But so
is there
doing
even
EPs
albums anymore?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just seems like the smart move. Even just releasing a single or an EP, it just seems like the smarter move nowadays.
Yeah, there's an argument to not even doing full-length albums anymore.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it's like for artists. I mean, we love the idea of recording like a full-length album, but I mean, who's really gonna listen to the whole thing?
Yeah.
It's almost better to just come out with a single every month. But I mean, We like the route that we're taking with 4 songs at a time. But
17 minutes, I think, the album just over. I mean, I was looking at that. I'm like, this is great. Like, pop it out. You're through the whole thing. It's that works. I love it.
Attention spans are just not.
Oh my
what they
God.
are, especially for an album. But
Yeah, that they just don't exist anymore.
Yeah, I think the next EP we're gonna do is 9 minutes and 11 seconds.
Not 6, 7. Did I do 6 minutes and 7 seconds? Come on, we were just doing the 6, 7 thing before we started. You had your chance, man.
It's 9 minutes, 11 second songs. About 6 or 7 songs.
6 or 7 songs.
True grindcore fashion here. We're in our mid to late 30s. I mean, not me anymore, but the thing is,
Yeah, join the club, man. It's past my bed. My alarm went off at 9:14 that it was time to go to bed. Yeah, right.
you just immediately fall
Yeah, I was like,
asleep.
oh,
Is he
I think
cool?
It helps. We all legitimately hang out with each other too. Yeah. Don't forget it. Yeah.
I feel like this is an NBA press conference.
But when we get together, we used to get together every Friday, and we did that for a few years. But before we even went upstairs to practice, we would hang out for an hour or 2 hours, sharing music with each other. We'd be like, oh, I've been listening to this band. We'd put on YouTube and just show each other stuff, just kind of vibe for a little bit, And I think that helped out a lot because that chemistry, you just need time to do that. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
when you actually play on stage, it's not just you checking if the other person's doing what they're supposed to. You're just up there, hanging out, having fun, basically.
yeah, you know each other.
Yeah,
You know
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
definitely.
That was another question I was going to ask you guys. How do you I haven't been in bands in over a decade, so I don't even know what the norm is for people playing now. Or how do you get people to shows, or how many shows are even out there? What venues are even around anymore? Since I played, so is it still a happening vibe out there, in Chicago, or has it changed?
I'll say that, and this is humble response. We are not it. We are not part of the scene. There's a scene, and I see it. We see there's little pockets of different scenes, little DIY places, and but they're all younger. They're all in their 20s, or early 30s or whatever. I think that is one problem that we have, is that our age group, everybody grew up and they're doing different things. So we're not like Steve Buscemi, hello, fellow children. We're not trying to do all that, but we also I can appreciate it. I love all the stuff that I see going on. I would love to be part of it, but I also know that the stuff that we get, we're blessed to get, because again, before this band, I feel like all of us were kind of out of the loop as well. Not really playing shows, not really existing in a band sense anyway. So now all of a sudden, we just announced we're gonna play Bottom Lounge December 13th with Night Spice and Medina Lake, and that's cool, because there's other bands that are we want to play Bottom Lounge,
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're out there, we're doing that, and then the very next week we're playing a dive bar called Reed's Local in Avondale, December 19th, and oh, Tony didn't know about this one. Yeah, so
Can you make it?
By the way,
Check your calendar.
by the way,
There is a solid scene in Chicago, and more importantly, there's people that have been not just playing music, but putting on these shows for as long as we've been doing it, and even longer. And you got guys like Pat at Kickstand, who has looked out for us like crazy. Kevin at Bottom Lounge has looked out for us like crazy, put us in some, nobody's ever given us stuff, but they've definitely been cheering in our corner, where they're like, hey, we know you're looking for some local support. Check these guys out. And they just put us in front of them. They're like, that's the most I can do. And we told them, that's all we can ask you to do.
Yeah,
and,
right.
And it's, for me, I feel like it felt even better when we found out that we weren't just hooked up. We got to my 4th show with these guys. And I think even probably less than 10 shows for you guys total, we got to open up for Alien Ant Farm.
yeah,
And then not too much longer after that, we got to open up for Sparta. And then our first show of this year was with Local H, and it was a January show, sold out show, and that's how we started our year. So it was just we're lucky to be in a city that has this type of scene. But on the flip side to that, this scene also recognizes when you put in the work, and it's Chicago. Nobody works harder, you know.
Well, that's kind of like where the roots of this show started. Is me moving out of Chicago into the suburbs and kind of trying to experience what I remember from like live music and original artists, and kind of like lacking that really heavily out here. And there's venues and things, and I see some bands come through, but like I was talking to some like neighbors, they're so excited to go see this cover band, you know, and like they're telling me about a cover. I'm like, it just doesn't seem right. Like that's cool. Like, and cover bands have their place and it's fun, you know, and I'd like to hear those songs too. But it's like, I'm like, why are you excited to go like to something that you've already heard? Just like find something new and exciting. And that's honestly why I thought of this when I set up this basement just to do my band practices and play with all my toys and stuff. And that's part of the reason I'm doing this. But I wanted to like find other original music to come here and give like a kind of a platform for that, because I'm like, there's a couple other places that do that, but like I'm starting to see less and less of that. And I want to like keep promoting, you know, people like you guys and people that are doing the hard work and putting out the original material, because it's like, it's for me selfishly, I'm having a harder time finding all that, you know. So and online I think is a good avenue now for people, because you aren't like giving CDs out anymore and stuff like that. So
going back to what you're saying, he was saying about passing out CDs, like nowadays everything's more media driven. I mean, it's really like how do people come across, like, I mean, some of the bands that I've got into that are newer, it was because of seeing their live shows and like seeing the energy of, you know, what they were putting out there. And like, it's just like, man, like I want to be part of that, you know? So like just going out to those shows, and that is a little bit in essence, like when we were younger, we were going to shows. We're networking more without even realizing it, just because we were going out there and doing the things we like.
The natural thing.
And it still is like that. Another show we just did a Riot Fest Presents show, like 2 weeks ago, with Chain at Cobra. Was it?
That's the last week.
See, time just keeps going.
I think honestly, which one? I haven't used this one yet. I'm using this one.
We prefer it in stereo. Could use two.
I think honestly, right now we're in a really good era of new music coming out. A lot of local music. I think it is like peaks, like every 5-10 years, you get to a point where it gets oversaturated.
Sure.
There's just too much of the same genre, and then it like dies out, and then there's like local band politics, yada, yada, yada. And then it comes back in full circle to where bands are just writing good, original, new music. I've heard so many good, like, I go to a lot of shows still recently, especially in Chicago. I was just at Thundercat last night, not a local show, but still amazing. I've gone to shows with these guys at Sub T on a Monday, on a Thursday at the Beat Kitchen to a sold out show, you know, and it's all kids, you know. These are like 20-year-olds. If it's all ages, you'll see 14-year-olds there. Like
we don't have a goal to be famous or nothing. We just want to have a good, you know, following. We want to show up and like people know who we are. And the more we play, the more it's like that. I mean, they say it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. Unfortunately, we started like 20 years late on our first year.
But when we break, we're going to be huge. I'm telling you, the time. Oh yeah. I think 40 years is really where it's at.
Well, that's another thing too, is a lot of success. You know, I've been seeing that a lot of people are having more success at an older age.
Sure.
I feel like there was just like a shift in the universe in general, where like we were on pause, you know, since 2020. It kind of like reset everything for
Oddly
everybody.
enough, right? Yeah, right.
We just happened to get right in that sweet spot.
Well, speaking of music, we got to get you guys set up to play before, you know, it gets too late and then the cops show up. That's why it's called noise complaint. I
thought
mean, Santi said this perfect. You guys started opening for Local H in January, and now it's November, and you're in Ben's basement. So you really, way to go, guys. Huh? There it is.
Moved on up.
Made it.
I hope this ends up like one of those YouTube videos where like the cops come and it's
Oh
like,
my God. I'm going to go call them just so this happens. I want that to happen
what's
so
up,
badly.
Uwu crew?
No, they're just ticketing all your cars outside. That's what they're doing.
We come back, we can't even leave. We got the boot.
All right, we got noise complaint. We got
noise complaint.
East Moon up on noise complaint next. I don't even know the name of our damn show.
Well, thank you guys for showing up and being the first episode on the show. And
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for having us.
yes.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you very much.
This is Eastman.
Appreciate it.